The vehicles we come across along the way, I think we should stop and check them for water in the washer bottle, fluid, anything we can use.
Okay.
How far? Outskirts of Cheyenne are approximately 25 kilometers.
You know, I've got to say, Richard, this has been a crappy book tour so far.
Flashlight. Ready? Okay. Come on. Come on. Up. All right. You okay?
Global effects were not fully felt until a month or so after the eruption had stopped. Billions of tons of sulfur dioxide ejected by the volcano wrapped their way around the northern hemisphere, cutting down the sunlight. Within weeks, temperatures started to plummet, as much as 20 degrees in some places. Then the aerosols jumped to the equator and started to cool the southern hemisphere. The monsoon failed, adding drought to the bitter cold. Climatologists say it will start getting better in a few years. But let's just say, I don't think I'll live to see another turn.
Clear up the scale of what we still have to do all this time on. 80% of the USA covered by ash. 20% rendered unusable or uninhabitable. Cities and towns permanently abandoned. Billings, Cheyenne, Denver, Salt Lake City. I don't know how we've kept going, to be honest. I mean, just the animals. The livestock. Millions dead. Rotted where they fell. And the people. If it hadn't been for Walk to Life, 7.3 million lives saved. That was an achievement. And it was Rick's achievement.
Not knowing was the hardest part. He called from Cheyenne, from the airport, with Ken. And then I didn't hear anything. Until Michael Eldridge called from FEMA to say they were in this bunker place. But safe. But then, when there was no news, I gave up all hope of ever seeing them again.
yours?
Why did I choose to come back? It's hard to say, really. To face the reality of what nearly happened, I suppose. How close we actually came to never leaving this place at all. We were picked up in Cheyenne, and when the ash finally stopped falling, we were transported to Denver, where we waited with thousands of others for our turn to be rescued. It would be 3 months until the transatlantic routes opened up again, and I made it back to my family in England. But I soon realized I couldn't stay there. Not until I'd seen, for myself, what had happened to Yellowstone. The place I'd spent my whole life trying to understand. Things will get better. They will, eventually. Nature will recover. The world will recover. This, after all, is not only how life ends, it's also how life begins. And one day, someday, Yellowstone will erupt again. But not on my watch.